And we're back. I know, it's been a minute. Um, First of all, Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. Um, I've been wanting to watch a Christmas movie again, and I think that the perfect Christmas movie is The Matrix Resurrections. I'm sorry, is it a Christmas movie? I believe it takes place at Christmas because I want to. It is available to stream on HBO Max through January 21st, so I hope you have already taken the chance to watch it. I have watched about two-thirds of it, so at the end, I may be a little more focused and surprised. Let's go ahead and do a countdown from five, five, four, three, two, one. Let's do it. I do like HBO Max's new spinning orbs when it's loading. I think everybody should just give us a nice little 3D animation instead of three flickering dots. Make them spin. Give me something to see while I wait. Thinking about the first Matrix, I started working in the movie theaters when I was 16, and The Matrix was out. So that's 1999, given my age. And wow, so many stories. Like, it was okay. No, it wasn't. I hated working at the concession stand, but that's where everybody has to start. I wanted to be an usher because they seemed like they had a really cool job, which was pretty much doing nothing, coming into the theater afterward and cleaning and finding people's lost money and all kinds of things. Those were good times. One time I was going in to clean a theater. It was The Mummy Returns. And when we opened the first set of double doors, there was a man pissing on the wall. So I closed the door. I go back and grab my supervisor. We come back. The dude's still standing there. And he just begins to explain why he had his dick out and was peeing in public. And he was like, "Oh, no, I have a condition." And my supervisor's like, "Yeah, I hear you. You still have to go." So many stories. Hide and go get it, all kinds of things. And here we are, 22 years later. A woman who couldn't look less like Trinity if she tried. I want to hear from like a real person who gets somebody like to portray them in a movie who just shits on the fact that that person doesn't look like them. Like, oh no, I think they did a great job. But could they have chosen someone less attractive to play me? It's a weird decision that they made to have this Yaya guy play him. Granted, with the exception of Candyman, I think that guy's a wonderful actor. Do you think that they should have just gone and called Lawrence Fishburne? I don't know this actress's real name, but what's up from Iron Fist? I guess it's hard not to talk about these movies without at least discussing the interesting history of the directors. And yes, this movie only has one of the Wachowskis. When the first Matrix came out, they were directed and slash stolen by the Wachowski brothers. I don't remember which one went first, but then one of them said, "I'm a trans woman. I'm a woman." I don't think they said I'm a trans woman. They said I'm a woman. Then the other eventually revealed that they were a woman. And now the other doesn't want to make the Matrix movies anymore. And I don't think you look like Bugs with that haircut so much as you look like Sonic. The ultimate Hurricane Rana. Shoot her in the face. Anyway, so now it's just the lone Wachowski. But once they changed, I don't honestly remember whether it's gender or sex. Sorry, I'm not that person. But once they changed one of those, they were no longer the Wachowski brothers, and everybody was like, "Do we call you the Wachowski sisters?" And eventually, it just became the Wachowskis. Like, you know what? Let's be as vague as we can and discuss how horrible their movies and television shows are. That's right, because I actually watched a couple episodes of Sense8. I might have watched that whole first season. Might have. They lost me. Now, I don't remember. I know there's a ton of representation in this movie, but I can't remember who's gay, who's something else, who's nothing. Of course, I know Neil Patrick Harris and the guy who plays the main agent are gay. And I know that the director is whatever they are. I assume she must also be included in that list of gay people. I do not think Yaya whatever is gay. Yeah, again, you look nothing like Bugs Bunny. Oh, that's right, but she's got the tattoo, which I don't remember exactly what the tattoo lady looked like in the first Matrix, but I don't think they looked anything like each other. But maybe I'm wrong. I do remember that woman having like an interesting hairdo. Maybe that is what she looked like. I do find it funny. She did some interview recently, the woman playing Bugs, and everybody likes to talk about how she turned down some role in Shang-Chi to take this. And I don't think that she was like totally serious, but she said that if she took that role, then she could never reprise her character from Iron Fist. Now, I get having a lot of loyalty to that character because I think that was her first major role in anything. But they are never bringing back anything from that Iron Fist show. Not a piece of wardrobe, not that character, certainly not the Iron Fist that they cast. I felt the touch of God. Close enough. I was masturbating. And then the next thing I knew, I saw him in my mind. And I thought, am I gay? But I had stopped masturbating, so I knew I wasn't. I mean, once that happens, yes, you should know that this is not real. Nobody said you can hug me. Boundaries, stranger. You know how often she has to keep redoing those cuts in the side of her head to keep that haircut fresh? Go, did you just cut your hair? Yes, I cut it every day. I'll take both pills. She gave you nothing. There's an old building with a skylight and a lot of steps. I know exactly where you're talking about. I think I've urinated next to that building. I think that haircut is going to be, and I already know it's out there before this role, but that lady's haircut is going to be replicated by every lesbian and bisexual, possibly until the end of time. Though, maybe it'll go the way of Cassie's haircut that every woman felt like they could pull off by shaving a large section of the side of their head. I am so glad some trends disappeared. Like the tramp stamp. There's a certain age of woman from like 50 to, I'm guessing, 35 who thought those were great ideas. And then a younger breed of woman said, I don't think so. Not for me. Back in the Matrix. If only coders actually looked at screens that were just falling code like that. I don't know. I am not a coder in any way, shape, or form, but I feel like that's not what it looks like to them. Old Super Nintendo controller. I'm such a nerd because it would be awesome to have a setup like that with all those monitors. I would never need more than two. I know that. Two is perfect for me. I can't just work on one. I hate one. But if I had like four, they would just have one thing on each screen. And people would be like, couldn't you just make the windows smaller? Get out! Get out of my office! It's not dude, it's Mr. Anderson. Good morning. Android phones, good for you. How can we not talk about the first Matrix gave us the phone? I don't know what it's called, but I think it was a Sony Ericsson phone. It came down. No, it was a Nokia. And it slid down in a world where we were all using like the Nokia bricks. And that was kind of the first foray. Not a flip phone. It wasn't a flip phone. But that little thing was so sexy. And I don't know what it costs. I don't know if people actually bought it, but everybody wanted it. And then by the time it came out, it was so expensive. People were like, I'll stick with my Nokia. Maybe you should go so I can finish my coffee in peace. No, I like to watch. I think no one did the wingman move better than Barney from How I Met Your Mother. Keep it simple. Have you met Thomas Anderson? And then you just go away. I guess so, because you're still holding my hand. Well, you gentlemen trying to tag team my wife? Excuse my family. I can never remember if Carrie Ann Moss is gay, but I always assume she is. There is something about her that has always read lesbian to me. But I've always found her an attractive woman. Aged well, too. And normally, white women age like old television. I'm the boss. I can never remember what this dude is from that I recognize him from. He's got that easy to hate, almost face, but good for him. He's kind of like a younger Dennis, Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny. I'm sorry. I know it's crazy, and I used to be a smoker, but I would just be like, can you put that out? Secondhand smoke's real. With your lack of socks and your loafers. Gotta love this meta humor. And maybe that is what happened. Maybe they told the directors, like, look, we're giving you a chance to jump on this, but if you don't want, we'll let somebody else do it. And given how bad the last two movies were received, and I actually like them, I don't love them, but the Matrix trilogy as a whole, I love. I like the second one a little bit more than the third, but I like the third, even though I was just as disappointed as everybody to find out that they were just doing the Bible, kind of. But yeah, imagine if they had just let. I don't think J.J. Abrams would touch this after what they did, but another director like that, or a Matt Reeves or somebody, that might have been very scrumptious. Can it be both? They are using a very interesting color blue with his glasses and that girl's hair. They're both like a very bright royal blue. Almost cyan. I don't know if that's the right shade that I meant, but I thought that that's what the blue shade is on the box for like printer cartridges. I'm probably wrong. Tell him what time it is, MPH. We need to move into something that stars Neil Patrick Harris that's like a jam. He's been a little silent since How I Met Your Mother, and that won't do. Well, he was in that series of unfortunate events show. That was okay, but I need to see him do something for adults where he is the star. Let me just soak it in. Get someone on the phone who can make that happen. I was very excited to see Christina Ricci for I don't know why reasons. Like I loved her as a kid. I think I had a crush on her. But yeah, when she popped up, I was like, "Holy shit! It's Christina Ricci. She lives." And anytime that this song gets played, you have my heart. What's sad is I can never remember the name of it, and it took me so long to figure out the name of this song because since before Shazam, I would hear the song and think like, "Oh," and I wouldn't. It wasn't always in a movie. Sometimes it was like on television, and that's harder. If it's in a movie, you can wait till the credits and then try to read those. But yeah, it took me over a decade to finally nail this song down. I think it's Jefferson Airplane. Pretty positive. A little Oculus. It's like they told everybody to have the strangest haircut that they could. And that's the little girl who was with the Oracle at the end of the last Matrix. I think Revolutions, what they called it. She's now a grown woman because I guess, yeah, that much time has passed. It doesn't make it right. I don't like whatever this is, like jumping from scene to scene like this. Not my stuff. I do think that this whole thing might have been done better if it were just a video game and we could play through it, have Keanu Reeves star in it. Much better than that Neo game that they tried to pass off. And had they put the money in and made it a triple A, big old third person with the same story, even if it was the same story, I think people might have liked it. What? You wanted kids. It's simple. I think society's responsible for me wanting the. You wanted kids, and now you have them. That I do. That I know. I'm screamed awake at 6 regularly. That's why she's different. She fixed her teeth since the last movies because I was like, you look different. And then her husband comes in. The fuck are you doing with this long haired transient? Absolutely. You don't play video games, you mom. I'm sorry. Did you say your friend's name is Kush? But I actually thought I looked like her. A weirdly seductive conversation. I feel like if I break eye contact, you'll kill me. But if we keep making eye contact, I can get a BJ. Don't say me too. Okay, good, because I'm like that kind of betrays your whole marriage and family. He was a little too old to be doing stuff like that. He looked like he could have been 7 or 8. If he was 3, sticking a Lego in your nose might make sense. What was I going to do? My friend dared me. He said I couldn't get it in my nose and then spit it out of my mouth. Ugh, ergonomic keyboard. I hate you. Ah, a little deja vu. Okay, I knew now had to come. Like, just do it. How often do strangers text you directions? No, it's Morpheus in the tackiest outfit you've ever seen. I think it's the belt on his jacket that makes him look like a gay pimp. And that shirt's awful. Good God, you're real. It's right here. Put it in your mouth. Can you tell me before I swallow it? Did you just pull that out of your pocket? All right, your bullshitting is going to get somebody shot on the thigh. Stick that pill in his ass. Let's get out of here. That looked awful. Like, as far as being in front of a video explosion goes, that was not Bad Boys. It was like Pauly Shore. Freeze, don't move. And they came in shooting immediately. Like, why would I not move? You know, somebody needs to do a video on shooting guns with 2 hands because movies make that shit seem like the kickback on one isn't going to be a big deal. Ooh, a piece of candy. right? Like, oh, I forget that the Matrix people have like some kind of super aim and stuff. Because I'm like, everybody's shooting and nobody hit him standing still. And now, wait a second though, I'm your employee. Your subordinate. Put the gun down. Where's the red pill? Where's the red pill? I feel like that exit has to have closed by now. 5 minutes ago, they were saying that it's only open for a short amount of time. I mean, looked like he shot you in the face on that one. So he must be the architect. Doing that in front of a bunch of people is hilarious. And then somehow you're alive. That's right. And I felt him. He was real. And he stuck his real arm through a mirror. But the mirror didn't break. My friend, you are certifiably insane. But that's why I do what I do. To help crazy people like you stop reaching into your butt and pulling out feces. Start reaching into your wallet, paying my fee. You got that right. I think we should bump you from 2 sessions up to 4 a week, if you can afford it. I do feel like I deserve some royalties, but that's why we're just going to keep your sessions going until I feel I've gotten what I'm owed. What city are we looking at? Is this San Francisco or LA? I don't know the West Coast like that. I forgot how she died. That's right, spoiler alert, folks. She died. I was going to say that's where he died too, but they went ahead and showed him landing. I think doing this at night from the highest place that you can jump from is a mistake. I would do it in the daytime from like a two-story building. And whatever that is, I thought it was Kettle One. That will not help you. You flying and driving, sir? I'm sorry? I meant to say, are you drinking and flying? Apparently, I've had something. Just make sure you're not going to hit anybody's car if you're wrong. What are you doing? Would you just take the red pill, please? Oh, and that dude died. Where are you? Show me. Not unless you getting gangbanged by a bunch of guys behind you is the sexy part. Oh, no sex for me. Can you fly too? Nope. Keanu Reeves has the wildest stance and walk. He walks and always has like an 85-year-old bodybuilder. I will say I like the shades that she just had on. If I were a woman, I would own them. I don't think a man can pull those off. Or should. If there are any men listening who are like instantly Google searching those, don't do it, my friend. Some stuff's just not for you. Another reason why this should have been a video game, because video games look so much like real life. There are moments in sports video games where it's hard to discern what's what. Oh, while we sit here as they go through this, so honestly, I find this one of the duller moments. I want to talk about some betting real quick because last night I won two of the bets that I made, and I made some stupid bets last night. Um, but we're going to talk about Saturday bets just in case anybody's in a place where you're able to make bets. We might win some money together. So I bet that Jimmy Garofalo would have over zero point 0.5 interceptions, meaning one. I'm not going to tell you what I bet. And I lost the bet that George Kittle would score and the 49ers would win. That would have paid me the most out of all of my bets. And then the third bet was that the Titans would beat the spread, which was +3, and they won. So that's fine because they could have lost by 3 points and I still would have won. So 1, 2, lost 1. Now, here's what looks scrumptious for tomorrow. At the moment, I have the Colts on the money line because I do think that they're going to win the game. Are the Bears playing tomorrow? No, it's the Browns and the Packers. And while I have no doubt that the Packers are going to win, I've been having a lot more fun with player props. Yeah, put that red pill in your mouth. Get it over with, Neo. So, I like. There really aren't a lot of great player props right yet. Though, if we go to field goals, I feel like both teams are going to score. And at the moment, McLaughlin over 1.5 field goals, the odds are plus 155. Them some good odds. So, what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to keep that just to give you an example. If McLaughlin, who is the Cleveland Browns kicker, makes more than, if he makes two field goals, $50 would get you $127. So just go through that and think like, okay, so what would that mean if I bet more money, right? So I definitely like that one for the kicker. Yeah, because they might have a lot of extra points. I don't think that they think that the Browns are going to get two touchdowns, which you're sleeping on them, but I believe that they're going to have Mayfield back. So how dare you? Well, gunfight. My wife is so bored by this movie. She was like, "Seems like it's mostly about action." I was like, "Yeah, half action, half philosophy." There is one parlay that I like for tomorrow. It says the Packers to win and 50 plus points scored. If the Browns come to play, that should be easily done. If they both just get to in the 20s, because somebody's got to win. If they both get in the 20s, chances are. But I don't know. I'm a little scared. So the two bets I think that I will begin with for tomorrow, I'm going to go with the Colts. And I'm going to go with the parlay of Packers and Colts both to win. And then I'm going to bet that Chase McLaughlin will score more than one field goal. And we're going to have a little sexy game that way. Ooh, now the question is, how much to bet on what? That Colts money line isn't too scrumptious. So, for starters, I'm just going to go with the field goals for McLaughlin and the Packers and Colts both to win as a parlay. The odds are constantly changing. So, as soon as you figure out what you're going to do, you got to do that shit. All right. He's got a lot more plugs than he used to, and that thing on the back of his neck is much bigger than it used to be. Welcome to the new version of the real world. See, this is tough because the Cardinals might actually come out and do well tomorrow. I feel like it almost might be better to bet the over. With the Colts and the Cardinals tomorrow, it's over 49. And I'm going to stop talking about sports there because some people hate sports. And I don't want to totally turn you off. So let's turn our attention back to the movie. Welcome back. You're old. I like your hair in the real world better. You look like a blue haired ass in the Matrix. By the way, and I always have, I've never forgotten it. I don't know if I could say every month, but I feel pretty confident saying every month since the 90s when The Matrix came out, I have generally said to myself, I know Kung Fu, and then pretended to play Morpheus and leaned in and gone, show me. It makes me laugh every time. It always has from the first moment that I saw that scene. I was like, what a weird little interaction that was. Look at that. It's a forest. You'll never see one in the real world. And even if the machines hadn't taken over, you still wouldn't have seen it. I don't know if the old Morpheus had quite as flamboyant a wardrobe as they have given to Yaya's Morpheus. Well, that was confusing, but like I said, I'd still prefer not to fight. And then he grabs a sword. He's being a conscientious observer. Not bad. I will say this is beautifully shot. My eyes are like all around the room as opposed to on the fight. That's right. Do not hit me again, sir. I'll never forget. Like, I don't have the nastiest feet in the world or anything, but I don't think that men feet should ever be seen. And I had some audition where I had to come in and take my shoes off, and they were going to pan the camera down, and it was just like, okay, whatever insecurity you might have about your feet, own it, and let us see, and let us record. I walked out of there feeling like a brand new man. I was like, there. I let someone videotape my feet. What'd you say about Trinity? You keep her name out of your mouth. Kamehameha. That's what you get. Yeah, like the back of his neck, he's got the ultra setup. He looks like he's somebody special. Nobody else has that kind of equipment on the back of their neck. Sorry we had to wake you out of that dream where you were wealthy and getting ready to bang a married woman. Welcome to poverty. Everything is dirty and it's cold down here, but you're free. I disagree. I think that you exist. I do think that people could use some joy. A purge of what? And where did you find that sweater down here? It looks nice. Did someone make it? Everybody who's had your job has to have a horrible name. You remember that last guy who just didn't win, right? Whoever you are, meet my rogues gallery of people no one needs to know. Like, as you should be. I'm fucking Superman. And who are you back there, all by yourself? Oh, I forgot all about this from my first watch. It's like the new Planet of the Apes, and how some of the apes were still choosing to help humans. Disgusting. There is no your side and my side. Not a bad way to exist, though you can't actually physically help us in a fight in the real world. I guess you should ask them, not me. Totally unrelated. The Nike Air Max 2021, which are for some reason still 160 bucks, I think that those might be my little present to myself. But the only colors that I can find aren't ones that I'd like to see on a man. Yeah, these colors are unacceptable. We're heading for a wall. You have to steer up or down or something. I remember when I used to be in cars a lot more often in Virginia, I would anytime things got rough and it seemed like we might die, and I meant it, even though it's something that would make me laugh. But I would just tell people flat out, I'd be like, "Oh, thank God," because I do not want to die with you. I told that to an ex-girlfriend one time. I was like, "Nah, dying with you, nothing about that seems romantic to me. I want to die with a woman that I'm gonna marry, somebody that I care about. Can't be you. Can't die with you." And now to meet a character that we barely met in the last trilogy. You look old as shit, lady. And didn't know if I'd spit in your face or hug you. And is that when you lost your eye? At what point did you go blind? This isn't the paradise I had in mind when I sacrificed myself so long ago. It's weird. To her credit, Jada Pinkett Smith looks almost the same as she did 20 years ago. Hell, she looks basically the same way she did 30 years ago. Anybody who wants to go watch Booty Call, still kind of the same. Wait, no, she wasn't in Booty Call. She was in a movie called Woo. There is one version of the Nike Air Max 2021. Yes, I am shopping. It's Christmas Eve and I haven't bought myself anything. I forgot that one of my sister's birthdays was within the last few weeks. And I had been looking because I was like, I'm going to buy myself something. And then I realized that I needed to buy her a birthday present. So I did that. Then I found out that there were a lot of people at work that were either going to buy me a present or that I was expected to donate to or buy a present for. And after doing both of those, I was like, well, there goes the money that I was going to spend on myself. But gambling has actually gone pretty well. Not to get back into sports. Hey, it's the lady from Family Matters. She was Aunt Laura, I feel like was her name. Maybe. Um, but now I'm just back because I'm like, okay, there's something that I can get myself. I don't know if it's going to be a $250 pair of shoes because if you Google Nike Air Max 2021, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put the image in my posting. Yeah, these things are so sexy. They're the Black Mystic Red Air Max 2021s. Absolutely succulent. Ah, there's the old Matrix we know and love. He didn't chip away at his face too much to really get that skin right, but you got the roundness of his jaw. It isn't fair. Like how I lost my eye. I would never, if anything ever happens to me, every conversation that I have, we're coming back to it. Let's just hope it never takes place because, like, let's say I lost a finger. That's how I reference everything before and after. BF. And go, what was it like living in Virginia? Well, that was before I lost my finger. Dad, what was it like when you met Mom? I had all 10 of them, but what are you going to do? It's interesting. My friend and I, we've been texting because it's about the betting. I'm not going to tell you exactly what goes on because I don't want to incriminate myself at all. And I made a parlay bet means I can pick like 5 or 6 games, put all the odds together. Now, if they all win, I win big. If one of them loses, I win nothing. So I don't bet much on parlays. Like I'll bet 20 to 50 bucks. This case, it was 20. So instead of 20 bucks spread across these like 6 games, he put a larger amount across each of those games. And if this had been 4 or 5 years ago, one, I was broke. Two, that mistake, which I refused to even do the math on, would have stuck in my jaw and I'd have been like, man, you owe me money now. And instead, I'm just like, no worries. I guess it's just the difference of time. Because, yeah, not a big deal. And if I lose every single one of them, I'll just deposit more money and we'll get right back to it. It's like there's this old movie, Pool Hall Junkies, which I always want to watch these movies that I own, but it would be hard for everybody else to see it. But there's a line at the end of Pool Hall Junkies where Chaz Palmiero, if that's how you pronounce his name, is talking with Christopher Walken. There's a lot of money on the line, and Christopher Walken is backing this pool player. So Chaz Palmiero is talking shit because he's about to win, and the good guy is about to lose. And so as he's saying this to Christopher Walken goes, I'm a millionaire. If I lose $1 million, I'll go out and make another million. So this game doesn't matter to me like it matters to you. And it was just a really nice way to shut him down. And this is like almost at the tail end of the movie. And it's like, yeah, none of this matters. Nothing matters. I could give him another million if I wanted. Now, I don't have it like that. But we're always working towards it because even with all of my betting, I still invest 15% of my gross income into many different things, mutual funds, REITs, index, a lot of those. I've been buying a lot of Allbirds stock. They need to do something big. I'm waiting for Instacart, and there is another IPO that I've also got my eyes on. But I'm even like, getting some Apple stock in there because I hated myself for not jumping on those bandwagons earlier. Just imagine if you're in your early 20s or something and you're listening to this, invest. Just start. Like Apple split in half a year ago or something, and it's like 100 and something a share. That's not bad. For some perspective, I would say look at what Alphabet, the company that owns Google, look at what one of their shares is. It's got a comma. And when I was in my early 20s, it didn't. It was probably closer to what I'm telling you Apple is now. So if I had had one I'd have made thousands. Now imagine, because I've got a lot of stock now, and I can't imagine if it was one of my higher ones and I had hundreds of that multiplied by thousands per share when I got in early. Ugh, makes me sick. I can't tell the color of Morpheus' coat, but I think this might be the first thing he's worn that I like. Unless it's a weird color. I was right. It's a weird color. Never mind. It's like a purplish pink. Her hair needs to be set on fire. I don't know what that is, but I hate it. I don't like any part of it. I mean, that's your part to play. You don't live. You're not the hero of this story. You side character. You're supporting. I thought that that woman had silver bands in her hair, but I think it's just the way that the light is catching it. I still don't like it because you're not black. And if she is, then she's one of the most light skinned mixed women I've ever seen. Brought back those shades, I see. This might be the gayest thing I've ever said. And I love Hugo Weaving as an actor, though whatever his issues are with returning to play the Red Skull do kind of upset me. But I enjoy looking at this dude's face a lot more than his. Like, when I look at Hugo Weaving speak, it's like watching one of those animatronic dolls from Chuck E. Cheese try to have a conversation. I'm just looking at every different part of his face and how they're all just doing their own thing. Nothing is in sync with each other. The hell you say? I will beat up that therapist. Let me at it. Who are we talking about? I don't have friends. They're all dead. I mean, if these are people from the old trilogy, I don't remember you at all. Okay, I do remember the Merovingian, though. What a nasty scene that was with him and I forget, Monica Bellarue or something like that was her name, where they like went into her vagina's code and she had an orgasm. That was in the second movie, if you've forgotten. I mean, yeah, everybody just leave those two to themselves. I mean, you're talking about a whole nother life ago, sir. You look nasty. Oh, and I also donated a little bit of stuff. Sorry, I'm still thinking about those shoes. And I'm like, what else happened to money? Oh, yeah, I donated some. I've been feeling really bad. I've given a lot of money to homeless people lately. But I really wanted to help, like, any homeless person I didn't give money to, I felt horrible afterward the past couple of weeks because there's a lot of them, holiday season. But I really want to help people closer to my home. I've been helping a lot of people close to where I work, and I work in Tribeca, where the rich and famous are. They can help somebody a lot more than I can, whereas I can help the people close to me a little bit more. And when my son is old enough, I plan to go feed. But I know it's not just something you want to do on Christmas. I want to go, like, help out at a soup kitchen just to give back. Let's say it's in the name of karma. It's like I work with a guy who was homeless prior to getting employed with my organization. And I haven't really asked him a whole lot about those times because I would imagine, as happy as he is to have been freed from that circumstance, it's probably not something that you want to, like, look back on all the time and discuss with a stranger for the most part. Like, we are work acquaintances. That's something that I love about my boss because she literally took this man out of homelessness. And he's not doing some menial position, he's our accountant. Yes, there is a long story of what led him to being homeless. He's definitely on the spectrum as far as social behavior goes, but I don't want to know that story. My coworker and partner at work, she was happy to find out, but I was like, nah, I want to know as little as I can about him. That way we don't get too familiar. Is it weird at all to see this 65-year-old man battling with a young man? Slightly. But that's the question because John Wick movies are still coming. We got at least two more, and maybe even three to just make him a full-on six. But how old is he planning on being an action star? He moves much better than, let's say, Harrison Ford when he was in his 60s. But Keanu is an old ass bitch, man. I take that back. I shouldn't have called him a bitch. He's notoriously a sweet and great person, but he's an old ass man. Yeah, to her credit, the blue haired woman, she had most of the best action scenes from the show Iron Fist, so it does make sense that we would see her kicking some more ass in this. It's an interesting. What is the absence of a choice? And I swear I just saw an 8 in the background that kind of looked like Sense 8. No one needs to be reminded of that. Certainly not in a Matrix movie. Oh, no, it wasn't an 8. It's a reflection. I think that was on purpose, though. Where do they keep finding these abandoned buildings in the Matrix that look like they're in, I don't know, the bad part of town? The Matrix looks so beautiful every other time we see it. And you mean some of that shit is just Detroit? This is not the fantasy I wanted. Are there homeless people in the Matrix? What did they do wrong? And why do they have him swinging all wide? Oh, are we in a building from the first movie? This looks like the same place where Morpheus goes, no, and then, like, smash through a, like, floor in the first Matrix. So excuse me while I beat your head in with this kitchen sink. Or bathroom sink. Kitchen sinks are much bigger. You messed up. Quick, now, throw something over yourself. Oh. I don't like that. Like, interacting with the robots like that reminds me of Transformers, and not in a good way. And yes, I like the Transformer films. I've seen them. I think I've seen them all. Why didn't somebody just throw a sword at him or something? Yeah, we're not friends. We barely know each other. Just take me to go see Trinity, please. You're working around all those sparks with your breasts out? Playing a dangerous game, Carrie Ann Moss. Leave everything you know and come be with me. Where was your husband in this dream? Where were your kids? So let me just see if I've got this right. Who are her children? Because they are someone actually plugged into the Matrix. Yes? So are they really her kid or are they not her kid? Ah. Oh, we're doing rewinds now? Doesn't seem very fair. I mean, I don't like that you're using the term bullet time. Let us say that, the viewer. Were you? Where? I'm sorry. Oh, you're really a different character than the old man from the first movie. Well, second movie. What are my eyes made out of now? Okay. I became Superman. Okay, so you are the new architect. I will choke you. Come run into my hand. All right, suck that bullet back into the gun, please. I mean, fuck moving. Stop it with your mind like you used to. I mean, this is a pretty great monologue. Yeah, please. No. All right, I had heard that monologue. We are in the territory where I haven't seen what's coming. I heard that monologue was pretty great. I thought it was good. I give it a 7 out of 10. It didn't blow me away. Like, it wasn't as great as Brad Pitt's monologue in Fight Club. To face that court martial. You are talking to the one. Doesn't look like a friend to me. Looks like the scariest moth I've ever seen. With a dolphin face. No shit. You mean the most important person in history? But you can't be the Oracle because she was alive. With you. unless it's a mantle that gets passed on. That's because I'm talking in riddles and taking my time. I'm not your friend. He was wrong. Yeah, I'm not gonna let Trinity die. Which is what? It's like the time I lost my eye. Oh my god. Just relax, everybody. I'll tell the story real fast. Somebody stepped up and it looked like it was just their bare feet with a wrap. Unless their shoes just had a weird shine on them. Yeah, I care about none of this crew. They can all die as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps by a third movie we'll learn more, but I don't want to learn more about them. Not one of them. Not Bugs, not none of them. I only care about Neo. I somewhat care about Trinity. And I find it interesting that Jada Smith does a good job hobbling around like a 1,000-year-old woman. She said, as long as we raise no alarms, the first part of the mission should be easiest. Take out the alarm part. Shouldn't the first part be the easiest? What starts really hard and then gets easier? And if you thought erections, you're right. Curious why this Morpheus hasn't interacted with Niobe at all. I mean, I didn't really get it, but you're gonna go from Neo's pod into Trinity's pod somehow? Oh, because they planned on that? Oh, they put them that close. I get it. So, we'll need you to cut the head off of one of these people. Mm, you're better than me. That's not how I go. I would be like, oh, no. What else? No, 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 it has to be you. No. What else? Who else? Look, I will go find somebody. Like her. Why can't it be her? I hate her hair. Of course. Okay. So the Oracle is still out there somewhere? Because clearly you are not her or her successor. No shit, your parents are dead. I have a feeling perhaps Neo isn't the one anymore, and maybe only when he and Trinity are reunited will he be as powerful, and probably her too, as he was in the Matrix before. We'll see if I'm right. Your hair looks so much better in the real world. You've got to stop whatever you're projecting in the Matrix mess. I've been waiting for that line to come up. We must be at about the end of the movie. I like how that machine is covering her breasts. I don't want the other two people in this room seeing your goodies. Hello, Mr. Anderson. You know he's got to be there. You know what bothers me about the Matrix? It's the smell. Oh. Oh, okay. I was like, are you going to delete the husband and the children or? That's just I like creeping around and being a home wrecker. Oh, for some reason I thought that that white haired dude was the architect from the previous make, and I was like, "Ooh, you brought back his old boss." And she's married to a Jonas, I believe. Who knows? Good for her if she is. All right, I'm gonna guess. I'm assuming she's gonna take him by the hand when they're done speaking, and then they're both just gonna fly, or she's going to fly. And if indeed that is what happened, I feel like it happened because now the Wachowski is a woman and decided to put the power in the woman's hands. I hate that decision if that's what happened. Because I don't think it was something that they decided, like, ooh, this would be neat. I think it was, we need to get power back to women. Because I'm a woman now. And then I remembered I've been to prison. I'm not some mom. But I'm here now. Can we get the fuck out of here? If you're curious, as soon as I'm done watching this movie, I'm going to begin making gumbo. That will be our dinner tonight, going into manana. Oh, God, I can't wait for Christmas. I've still got a few gifts to wrap, too. Son of a bitch. What the fuck are your family doing here? Why is that kid dark skinned when they're both white? Well, I guess they could have adopted him. Or somebody's got some splaining to do. Ah, that's another movie I need to watch. Freaking the Lucille Ball show movie with Nicole Kidman and her weird face. It's hard for me to look at her face after all the surgery she's had. I wanted to watch and just like that for one of our Let's Watches, but Kristen Davis's face and we just can't get on the same page. I don't like what she did. It's made it hard to even understand what she says now. Shame on you. Shame on you to pieces. It doesn't seem like she made a choice so much as her husband dragged her out. Her body, her choice, bro. Let go. Unhand her. Well, look at you. You look angry. You ever see a dude, like, grab his woman by the arm? Headbutt. You need to take your red pill before the martial arts kicks in. Maybe not. Okay, I was wrong. Now snap his neck in front of his children. I mean, we're seeing a lot of him doing this like weird force push. I need you to fly. You're taking too long. Okay, how are you moving at a good speed, though? Okay. Oh, that's right, because he's the anomaly, right? I feel like that's what they were really trying to say in the third movie. The anomaly was Agent Smith, unless it applies to them both. Use the cat as a gun. Put your hand up its ass, and bullets will fly out of its mouth. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen it. Haven't done it. Not a cat person. That thing is still covering her breasts. Not that I need to see them. I'm sure they're excellent. But it's just weird that it's got her sitting in such a PG-13 stance. Not really. Is anybody ever really ready to die? Okay. So now you're both out? No? A lot of big angry machines looking for you guys. Hopefully, you can move like the wind. Yes, let them touch each other. And then they fly off. Or there's just a really big explosion when they touch. How many people does it take to hold back each of them? And the ones that can't hold back Trinity should really feel emasculated. Now let's get the fuck up out of here. I know a great spot where we can get some chili cheese fries. Oh, that gun isn't playing around at all. That must not be your ordinary Glock. Hmm. I mean, they're just gonna find out where your ship disappears to, which I guess leads us to the next movie. Another war on Zion, except this time it's Io. Yeah, this time you can't fly. This time it's Trinity who's gonna carry him like a dude sitting bitch on a motorcycle. Ugh. You're not even gonna give it a try first, Trinity? You can't fly. Let me see. Quick, grab my ass. Because she flies like powdered toast, man. If you are old enough to remember Ren and Stimpy, good for you. And she's gonna fly with her motorcycle and him riding bitch. I haven't seen this. I'm just making a guess based on horrible things I've seen in the past. A miracle to get them out of there, or a miracle to stop the real life machines from killing everyone? I feel like at least you need two miracles. I hope she's not going to like drive that motorcycle up a series of stairs to lead him back up to a rooftop to jump again. I kind of feel that coming. Quick, transform your motorcycle into a tank. What's going on with the force? Like, he used it to stop bullets before. He's been doing a lot of the force. It's like a zombie outbreak. And color me nuts. I feel like nobody's black in this like sea of city citizens running at them. Like, I might have seen a black person, but it's a pretty white city. Where are we? That is a great way to wake up and scare the shit out of your significant other. He just woke up, ran out of the bed, and dove face first out of our window. And these might be the closest to what it really looks like when people jump from a building, because even though they're crashing and turning into code, that's pretty close. Like, we turn into fucking nasty gelatin when we hit the ground. It's just broken bones and skin and blood, brains. You people need to get to a phone booth. And it doesn't even look like the bullets are making it out of the truck. Oh, good. Well, they're all dead, but we really only cared about two. Let her go ahead and shimmy. It's okay. I'm ready to die. Oh, well, go ahead and force those now. Yeah. I'm over him just throwing his hands out in front of himself. Like, that's lame, given what we saw in the last Matrices. Stop! Like that's what I do when I'm trying to get the train to go forward because I'm going to be late to work and the conductor hasn't sent a message and we've been stopped for like 5 minutes and I'm like, all right, if somebody's sick or dead, say something. We're not moving. Some of us have to shit. And then I just try to force, like, I don't care if they're working on the track. If I had the use of the force, I would have taken the train and run many MTA workers over. There was snow on top of cars this morning when I walked to the gym. It was a beautiful way to start the day because I've only had like two white Christmases in my entire life. And every year, I don't get my hopes up, but every year I'm just secretly wishing it would just snow for Christmas. So I will take snow on the top of cars on Christmas Eve as my white Christmas. He's doing the hands up thing. Should I roll the grenade under his hands now, like we talked about? And we are heading upstairs on the elevator to what I imagine is a rooftop for him to yet again stand there. And this time, no one's going to grab him and say no. God, there was so much work drama the past like couple of weeks between our white elephant game, our holiday party, everybody and their grandmother catching COVID. I have to take a COVID test, but you can't take COVID tests because the entire city's trying to take a COVID test at the same fucking time. So that's fun. I checked today because I thought that the urgent care near me, I thought opened at 9, and they're the easiest place where I can get a test. And they opened at 8. It was 8:16, and I tried to join the virtual wait list, and it told me it was closed for the day because they had already reached capacity. 16. Kind of knew that that was going to happen, but hopefully the other one is just a coward and leaves, and we don't have to watch him force push anymore. Well, give them a fucking cell phone. Yeah, I mean, if you've got the power of flight, now's the time. Oh, and now you can see, like he saw. Oh, whatever Wachowski wrote and directed this, you should probably join your sibling and just go fucking farm like Thanos. We barely had an us. Like, our whole romance was involved around running, fighting, being at war. Occasionally, we made love like twice before we died. This time, let's just take a road trip, maybe do some weird touristy things. Force push. Or it's time to actually fucking fly. Let's go. Yeah, he didn't need to do a running start before, though. You guys need to believe. like nowishly. Okay, she's flying. Yep, knew it. I knew it and I hate it because I hate that they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. You came all the way back 20 years later just to make this about some girl power shit. The hero nobody asked for. I still love Carrie Ann Moss. They took the lowest hanging fruit here. What if we do almost the exact same thing that we did 20 years ago, but this time it's the woman? And in this case, the other Wachowski left the room. So the Wachowski who directed and wrote this is like talking to themselves. Yeah, that's brilliant. You old people. Just start making love right in front of them right now. Like, oh, this is getting graphic. We'll leave you and give you, what do you say, sir? 25? It is like cave people being awoken, considering how old Jada Pinkett Smith's character is. Well, that was gorier than it needed to be, but okay. I do like Neo's new jacket even more than I liked his old one. Unless that's the same jacket, it might be. No, I think it's new. But I can never pull it off. True. I mean, there has to be a third choice where the sheep stay, and they do. Yeah, that jacket's so money. If it didn't cost $10,000, I'm sure. Oh, okay, so now they can both fly. All right. I don't know how you guys liked that. I did not like it, but it happened. I don't think I'll see it again. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Feel free to reach out. Let me know what you think about the gambling bets. If you do decide to place a bet, I go with MGM bets. Let me know what you think about how those games perform tomorrow on Christmas Day. And most importantly, everybody, Merry Christmas. I promise I will have another episode within the next few days because of the fact that I deprived you of one last week. All right. Talk to you later. And again, happy holidays.